I truly just woke up like 2 minutes ago.
There you go. You're doing the island time thing.
Yeah, there you go. Hey boys, how are you?
I'm doing great. Great to meet you. Here on St. Croix in particular, we have a thing called Crucian time.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and we don't like Crucian time. You say you want somebody to be there for 7 o'clock, tell them be there for 6.
Crucian time, man.
All right. So I'm glad to have you here online with us here. Been to St. Croix before?
Say that again, that last thing?
Okay. You're not hearing me well?
No, I am. You have a
Your
little
accent.
an accent.
Okay. I'll
And it's beautiful. I wish I could talk like that. Maybe a couple weeks in St. Croix, I'll get some of the local dialect.
Okay, good thing. First time to St. Croix?
No, I was there in 1983. There was a club that I played there with a band called the Shabu All Stars for about 6 weeks. And I can't remember the name of the place, but we could see Buck Island from the shore, from where we were. And I was there for 6 weeks, and I decided to get my diving certification from a place called North Shore Dive Tours or something like that.
Yeah, North Shore.
Oh, okay. Yeah, are they still there?
Yep.
Amazing.
I'm here.
Well,
Doug, you there?
yeah, we're here. So we'll be welcoming you back to St. Croix.
Thank you. It's been too long.
Yes, I hope you're not going to just run in and run out.
I plan to be this trip is the first 2 weeks of many, 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 many upcoming trips.
All right, good. All right, everybody's got a story, and
Sure.
for purposes of my audience, tell us a little bit about Jeff Pevar and his born with a guitar in his hand, or somehow the epiphany went off later in his life. However it happened, tell us a little bit about Jeff Pevar and your journey.
Okay. So, like many people around my age, and the fact that we were brought into this world around this timing, it was a musical and cultural renaissance, the 60s and the 70s, as far as music, as far as the freedom in music, as far as the type of music that was on the radio, the type of music that records were being made. I mean, there was all kinds of music. And it was such an amazing time to be a musician or someone who loved music, because on the same radio station, you'd hear Motown and Johnny Cash and, so many different amalgamous styles of music. But the thing that really kind of launched my hunger in music was seeing the Beatles on Ed Sullivan. And once I saw the Beatles on Ed Sullivan, it kind of epitomized a certain vivaciousness and joy and celebration of not only music, but passion and joy and childlike exuberance. And so once I saw that, I knew what I wanted to do. So it was just a matter of between the time it would take for me to get proficient enough on my instrument to be able to relax and obviously have lots of experiences with lots of different musicians to teach me what it would be like to be a professional musician. So I actually was going to school and started playing in nightclubs on weekends with musicians who were older than I. I remember my mom driving me to rehearsals, and I was too young to get into the bar, but I was back then it was relaxed enough where I could go in and I could play. So I was about 14 or 15 playing in nightclubs, and that began the career of me learning how to take the responsibility of the guitar chair in a band and learn how to perform and learn how to get good. And so it snowballed as time went on. And then as time went on, opportunities unfolded before me. I've used the term luck, but I've changed that to fortune. So rather than say I've been really lucky, I've been very fortunate, because I believe fortune is something that that can happen to someone through their power of manifestation and their dedication and their exuberance, and maybe, is it God? Is it karma? It's hard. You can't really, I can't put my finger on it, but I certainly feel very fortunate that as time has gone on, opportunities have come my way. I've heard it once said that the power of manifestation is something that you could actually believe in, that we are incredibly more powerful to bring opportunity to us like a magnet. That if, and I love that possibility, like a magnet, I'm going to draw opportunity to me.
Yep.
And meeting Greg Dunnett is one of those. The kindred people that you have in your life, they sometimes just appear, or the opportunity just happens because you happen to be in the right place. Is it total blind luck, or is it fortune, or is it meant to be? All these things, you could think about and try to figure out. But I'm just very fortunate that Ray Charles came to New Haven, and I heard the day of the show that his guitar player had left the band, and I went down early and I talked my way backstage, and I watched the show, and I told the band leader I was interested, and he asked me if I had a tape, and they had 2 shows that night. And it was in New Haven, Connecticut, which is an hour drive from Hartford. And after the first show, I ran back to Hartford to a studio I was working at, made a cassette tape, drove back as fast as I could, breaking speed records. And I got there as the bus was pulling out, and I gave the guy a cassette tape of my work.
You said before we met, your life will overtake. I took it.
So, the way things have just kind of fallen in, one thing after the other, the snowball effect. So is it luck? Is it meant to be? Is it me being, taking advantage of a possibility? All these things I'm very happy about. And I'm a student. I learn every time I put the guitar on. And I don't take anything for granted except the fact that my desire to do as good as I can is there.
My son would say that he's fortunate because he figured out what he wanted to do the first time he saw iPhone.
iPhone. Oh, okay.
He saw the videos and it was the epiphany. Wow. And for them, it's like show them the phone and they know what they want to do.
Nice.
But that's great. And I love that story in the sense that you see opportunity and you go after it. It's either yes or no. And we have the footage of you there playing with Ray Charles. You tell them the sky is the limit, go for it, and you're living proof that these things happen, just like so many other people who just persisted. All right.
Yes, I love the saying, the only limitation is your imagination.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Fantastic. So who are you bringing down with you this time?
So, well, of course, the best thing that ever happened to me is meeting Inger Nover Jorgensen. And so, of course, she's going to come with me, and she's, besides the fact that she's a master sculptor and artist and the love of my life, she will be joining us during our performances. I have some wonderful musicians that I've met who live in this area, who moved here from various places on the planet, to my great joy. And the drummer's name is Cristo Polani, and he's played with numerous bands over the years, a number of well-known bands. He moved in from Los Angeles. And Matt Spencer, who moved here from, he was in California and then moved to Hawaii and then came here, and he plays bass, but he's also a very accomplished guitar player. So we put a trio together called JP3. I often enjoy playing with, larger ensembles, but there's something about the trio, a guitar trio, which is a very unique study and opportunity unto itself. And I admit I am a very big fan of Jimi Hendrix. And
but my love, oh baby, ain't the kind that folds. Come on, sugar, let the good times roll.
When you find a tribe, you find musicians, you find people that you surround yourself with that not only have a beautiful gift, but there's that extra something, and admittedly, I've been very spoiled, very fortunate to have played with some of the greatest, I think, some of the greatest musicians in the world. So whenever, I'm pretty good at spotting people who have a special gift. And so I'm bringing all people down who are very, very special to my life and have beautiful music pouring out of their hearts. So it should be pretty damn good. It should be pretty good.
Fantastic.
Love it.
You're going to be playing, I understand, at the King Bee Music Festival, and that's on the 26th.
Yes.
Of course, I'll be out there to get a glimpse of you and hopefully capture you in the camera there. And then on the 27th, you're going to be playing at Grapetree Bay.
Fantastic. I'm ready.
All right, good thing. Yeah, so we're really looking forward to having you here, and it's great that you've been here before. So it's like another home. If you could just give us a little bit, no brag, just fact. Some of the folks that you played with, over the course of your journey.
Sure. Well, like I say, I've been quite fortunate. Early on, I played with a woman named Ricky Lee Jones. This was 1983. So those were the first concerts I played that were not, smaller nightclub kind of performances, and we ended up playing Red Rocks on that very first tour. And she had that hit Chucky's in Love. And she's an amazing artist. Then Ray Charles, about 84, 85, 86. And we toured all over the world. We played all the big jazz festivals, you know, in Europe and in the States, and played Japan and Brazil. And that was such an eye opener for me. 1988, played with Joe Cocker, and we toured all over the world. He was huge in Germany. He was filling 20,000 seat coliseums. And not only did we do those types of performances all over Germany, but we actually played behind the wall 2 shows. And there's one that came up on YouTube. So there's an entire show, Joe Cocker in Berlin, 1988. And I'm one of 2 guitar players in the band.
Somebody tell me that you're out at home. Unchain my heart.
There was over 150,000 people there. It was one of the largest concerts they'd ever had. 1990, I think, is around the time that I moved to New York. I did some some TV work in an MTV band. They had a show called Turn It Up, although the people in the band called it their own name. They called it Turn It Off. But anyway, Mark Cohn, worked with Mark Cohn around the early 90s. I was introduced to Mark through James Taylor, the singer-songwriter, Fire and Rain James Taylor, because I know there's more than one. And I toured with Mark, and when I was touring with him, he got the Grammy for the Best New Artist.
Watching well, he should have left my eyeballs dead. Isn't that so? Isn't that so? You've got to go where your heart says go. Isn't that so? Didn't he know what he was doing when he divided high and low? He said, you gotta bury the seed down in the dirt, my friend, if you want the thing to grow. Ain't that so? Isn't that so? You got to go where your heart says go. Isn't that so? It's just a line of the least reason.
I think 91. 92, and then we opened for Crosby, Stills and Nash, and David Crosby and Graham pulled me aside and asked me if I'd be interested in touring with them. So it was quite an exciting opportunity to tour with more of my heroes.
Some laughing
there's been various musicians over the years. Bette Midler that I worked with, I toured with her, and Jimmy Webb and Carly Simon. And there's been studio opportunities as well, that would come my way, recording with different artists. And then I've learned to become a producer and a multi-instrumentalist. So I produce people's records, and I have a studio in my home. And the technology these days, I'm able to play all the instruments, or we can hire some musicians. I've been working a little bit with the keyboard player from Little Feat, Bill Payne. And actually, I sat in with Little Feat a number of times, which is very exciting for me. The list goes on and on. It sometimes gets a little foggy, to try to remember all of them,
Great memories, I'm sure. Great memories in that sense. Well, welcome to St. Croix to make some more great memories.
Man, I am so excited. We are so thrilled. And, to play a rock festival is such a treat for me, because admittedly, I do love to be able to put the guitar on and be rambunctious. There's times when you're being very tasteful and very lyrical with, folk musicians. And then there's time where you turn it up to 11 and
let it all hang on. Right.
Yeah, let it all go.
But my love, oh baby, ain't the kind that folds. Come on, sugar, let the good times roll. Yeah, let the good times roll.
The hotel gig, we'll be doing all kinds of stuff from, rhythm and blues and classic type rock and some reggae and calypso. And, we love all styles of music. So we'll be doing all kinds of stuff. But the festival itself is going to be pretty pedal to the metal.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
We can't wait.
Awesome. Awesome.
Well, I tell you, it's really great. I'm looking forward to sharing this with everyone I can share it with, so that they can come out. I want to say for the layout at the music festival, it's like a lawn amphitheater, so everybody will probably be there with your chairs, blankets, whatever,
Beautiful.
just relax and enjoying the music with whatever libation, food, and everything. It's going to be that type of down to earth.
I'm very excited.
And every place you're playing is steps from the ocean. So you have that energy adding to your music, and it's very powerful. And we're very bohemian kind of society out here.
Yes,
So
yes.
we're all here because we're not all there kind of people.
I totally get it. I do remember the feeling of being there, and I'm looking forward to it very much.
But my love, oh baby, ain't the kind that folds. Come on, sugar, let the good times roll. Yeah, let the good times roll.